We couldn't have We have audio.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Sign up for public comments.
We have two so far.
Okay. Union County Education Association, Ms. Murr.
I was wondering on the insurance that's up, what's the difference? Because I know somebody that retired with the concept that the insurance was going to get paid. So how is that?
It's just, we're gonna talk about that tonight, but it's just the yellow print at the bottom. It's the only thing's being discussed tonight. Everything else stays the same.
So if you were on it, it's.
None of that changes. None of that changes.
Because I was wondering, because this person, they looked at the insurance before they retired, and they said they couldn't retire if they didn't have that insurance, because otherwise they couldn't afford it.
Yeah, because we had to make an adjustment to several people last month when they went up. But
Thank you.
Okay, the student representative.
He is here. That would be Mr. Hayden Caldwell.
Hello, thank you for having me. I just wanted to firstly start off with saying that being able to have the students represent their thoughts and their opinions and voice exactly what's happening or on around the school is an honor, and I'm glad that this is being introduced in our school. I also want to bring up some important dates that are coming up. Obviously, this weekend, we have our winter formal that is being sponsored by Ms. Richardson. And I've heard a lot of great things so far that's going to be coming out of it. And a lot of students are voicing their opinion about how excited they are. And I hope we can continue putting these opportunities forth in the future. Also, on March 5th, we have the band, which I'm a part of, we have our concert. And we have our choir that is going to be performing some great songs in our guitar class, which is pretty new recently to the school, that we are very glad to have up there on the stage for, I believe, their second time this year. And we will be performing a patriotic show. I know this has been talked about last month, but I would love if we could get the word out there about veterans coming to this event, because that is what it is for. It is for veterans, it is for the community, and it is for the people who believe in our country and believe in patriots, as what we are. Also, we have our choir going to Dollywood to make a performance, which is on March the 3rd, I believe. So we are very excited for all of them. And later on in the year, we have our testing coming up soon. And a lot of our students are nervous about that, but some of the upperclassmen I've been talking to, we've been trying to help those around us and give them advice. And I believe it's working. And also our testing has come back from previous, and we have improved greatly in almost every area, which I'm very glad to have that. And finally, something I want to bring up because of my own personal experience is the middle college. Our students are coming up, I believe, either this week or next week to talk to Ms. Sutton from Walters State Community College about the middle college experience and what it provides for them and what opportunities it opens for them. And as someone who's going through that program, I wanted to be able to introduce the idea of maybe having those students who are in that program be able to talk to them. And we've been trying to work that out because it is a very scary experience going into that for all the online classes that they have to experience. But that is one of the main things I want to bring forward because it is just so different from how we do things here for how they do things on the computer. Everything is just online. And whenever I was introduced to it, and whenever all of my classmates who are in the program was introduced to it, we were very scared. But that's kind of what I want to bring forward, and thank you for hearing me out. I also wanted to apologize for my parents. I kind of ran here. I know I look very scared and shaken. This is not because I am scared of public speaking. I'm fine with talking to you guys. I'm just was very worried because last time I knew it happened in the auditorium, and I was looking all around the school, and nobody told me. And I had to run here. It was crazy. So I had an event for the last hour.
They didn't tell us either, so we didn't know.
You fit right in with this bunch, you're fine.
But thank you all for hearing me, and I'm sorry for the appearance, but thank you for hearing me out on all these ideas. And once again, thank you for having the students be able to represent our opinions and bring forth the things that you may not be able to, get at just a glance. So, thank you.
Thank you. One thing I'd like to say before you walk away is.
Yes.
I'm proud of what you've grown into, because I had you at the middle school, you weren't nigh that big. You're a large man now. But thank you for that. I love the piece about the middle college. Do you know how many kids are in the middle college right now?
As of right now, we have 9. 9 or 10. I'm not sure exactly within the junior class, but the senior class, we have 7. Last time I checked, I know there's been a few students who had to drop out of it, just for some personal reasons. But there, I believe, is 9.
That is outstanding, because last year was our first graduate we had come to the middle college.
Yes, Emily Hewitt, she was the person that kind of got us into all of it, and she was outstanding. She was able to help us all and get very calm into the situation, which we were all, like I said, very scared of. But if that could be something that we could do as, to talk to the students who are doing it in the future, to clear up some more thoughts, that because obviously the representatives from the college are going to want them to do it, and they're going to tell them every single bit of nice things that they get out of it, because gets them more students and gets to continue the program running. But some of them I know in my class left afterwards because it wasn't what was exactly described. But thank you all.
Thank you.
I have a question, Hayden.
Yeah.
Is there any way, like, the board could do anything to address this middle college issue, or is there anything like you feel like we could do or address, or have Mr. Clay address?
Well, our counselors do a very well job of kind of bringing the realism side back to it, rather than just, oh, you'll get your associates early, you'll be 2 years ahead of everyone, and it's all these great things. They also remind you of how much it costs and how much time you're going to put forth and the things you'll have to sacrifice for it, like friends, time with friends, time with work, trying to build up money. But it's a payoff sort of thing. So it does work out in the end, as long as you stay dedicated to it. But I think a big thing is getting the idea of it out there more. Obviously, we have our announcements in the morning. They've been announcing the middle college as what happens. But I think a lot of them are also wondering about how it will change in the future with the new building being put in next door. And not many have been brought light to that situation. And I think that's more of a Walter State sort of part of it. But just being able to get the idea out there and getting both the realism side of it and all the benefits introduced, which is why I wanted to bring up the idea of students who are in the program being able to talk to the ones who are interested. And being able to allow that to happen would be something that I myself, I know I'd be thankful for if I was in their shoes.
Thank you for that explanation. Oh, did you?
No, you're good. Thank you, Hayden.
I wanted to ask about the online. You said it's all online? And
Yes.
when do you do your classes? Do you do them like here? Do you do them at home? And maybe, so was the online component what was difficult? Is that?
Well, it being online was, I'd close to say around 90% of my classes. I took, I believe, 3 classes in person. I know there are a few more that are offered, like the speech class that is now offered in the new building, along with the English comp classes that are right now being taught by Mr. Trammell. And I've heard he's doing a very good job of that. But most of my classes were online, which made me have to do it late in the night or after I get off of school or work or any of that sort of stuff. And going back to before with like what could be brought up to the students is that for me, it wasn't quite explained that like, oh yeah, there's scholarships I have to be applying for during all of my senior year. I have to be doing all this college readiness stuff. So normally what would be my time out of school and out of work to be focused on that, I'm doing middle college and that on top of each other. So it kind of, that wasn't originally brought up to me. But like I said, it's a payoff sort of thing. So you get to do a little bit of both and then you get boosted 2 years ahead. So you're not paying as much on the college stuff. So you don't have to get as many scholarships if you want to hopefully be debt free,
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Well, I'll definitely look into some of the things you brought up.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, special recognitions, I don't think we have any, and, school board attorney is not here. So it's TLN update.
Thank you, Chair. I have some reports for y'all. I tried to give you a summary, and I'm sorry they are not passed out. The first one is the report. It's, I think, 2 pages, and then these are the phone numbers for all the education committee chair, or committee members, rather. If you could want to pass those around. So of course, the session is in full swing. It's been a little bit lighter on the pieces of legislation, but there's several bills of concern. And I've listed some that I think perhaps might be of interest to our district, but there is a great deal more that I'm sure some of you would probably be interested in. I've printed out the TSBA opposed and support piece, and I also went through all 31 pages of education bills, and I tried to summarize it, and it's 17 pages. So if anybody's interested in this, I didn't make copies, but if anybody's interested in this, I'd be happy to share it. These are hopefully all of the education bills. There's probably still some that are caption bills, which means that they don't necessarily say, if you look them up, what the bill is about, but they're going to do an amendment that changes the bill. So sometimes a little tricky, but hopefully if anybody's interested, there are all kinds of things of interest, I'm sure, to all of us and to people in our district. I'll just highlight a few. And next week, I think is that.
That's what it was looking at, is make sure they're on
Yeah.
the teacher scale.
Okay.
We already do that.
That's all I have to.
Thank you. Okay, let's discuss school trips.
We all want the opportunity. Union County High School has a trip request for the travel club to go to Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., May the 24th through the 31st, 2027. So it's not this fiscal year. And I'm sure the reason they're requesting this so soon is because of fundraising. It takes a while to raise funds necessary for that trip. And the other request is Iris Maynard Middle School's Junior Beta Club, Tuesday, June the 23rd through Friday, June the 27th, to the National Junior Beta Convention in Nashville, Tennessee at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel.
Any questions on those? Okay, if no questions, discuss contracts.
Well, since Missy is not with us, that falls to me. The first one you have is the Lewis Thomason. It's just the engagement letter. We've already taken care of this, but this is the actual letter that Missy had asked for those folks to regenerate, because we've not had an updated one in years, so we put that back on here for you guys to approve or disapprove. Keep that firm. And the other one is Waste Connections. It's not on your agenda. This one came from Crystal today because the contract runs out end of this month. She sent it to us this morning. There's no price change. It's just a renewal. We currently pay $5,849 a month, an annual fee of $70,188.48. But that services all the campuses multiple times a week. That's the two we got.
Any questions on those?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have a question. On the Lewis Thompson contract, I noticed that it doesn't like have renewal or anything. Has it ever had a renewal requirement, or is it
Well,
just an indefinite?
When Ms. Stackhouse left, if I remember correctly, we voted that night, whenever that was, 2 years
Yes.
ago, to continue using those guys. We did not have this letter at that time.
Yes.
And when we changed midstream this year to move over to Mr. McCarty, that's when Missy said we need to get an updated one, because I think the last one was probably about 10 years ago. So we just get an updated one because the fees had changed. They would give us a fee update periodically, but we just hadn't had a new letter in quite a while. So that's all this is. It's just for Missy to have basically for audit. It's the biggest thing.
So Waste Connections need to be voted on tonight?
That's up to you all to add it or not. I'm just relaying the message.
Well, the contract ends at the end of this month, correct?
Yes, it does. So it would be nice to add it tonight.
For the attorney or for the,
Waste Connections.
okay.
Any more questions?
On the attorney contract, is it, I mean, for Mr. McCarty's service, is it strictly to him or is it?
Well, it's anybody in his firm, because like I've been working with Robin Askew on the property pieces.
Okay.
She's been doing those guys. They have various people in their firm.
Mhm.
So it's to use their firm, is what it is.
Thanks, sir.
Any more questions? If not, we'll move on to Director's Monthly Report, Budget Amendments and Transfers.
That's me again. You've only got 2 pages. It's pretty simple. Basically, down at the bottom, it's just to move funds within appropriated budget as needed, add funds received from other entities, state funding grants for tutoring and STEM programs. That's the first one. And the other one is to, oh, so that's terrible, sorry. It's to enter in the settlement on the mediation into the capital project. That's what those 2 are for. So if you look over those, any questions, I'll try to answer.
Any questions or discussion?
And the director's report, however how it goes with the trustee's office, I'm not sure how that works, but she didn't have that one prepared yet, so she'll have 2 next month when we do that. So we're still working off, only one I've got is the one from December, we had last meeting.
Any more questions? Okay, items for surplus.
Do not have any.
Okay. Personnel update.
I think you guys have those. It's just the changes for this month. So look over those. If you got any questions, I'll try my best to answer those.
Yeah. Do you have an extra?
No, I'm good. I've done those.
Any more running? Yes, ma'am.
Any questions on those? Jimmy put me on a time limit here tonight, so we'll move along as best we can. Maintenance and capital project update.
Well, some of you may have known that we had a disaster at central office. We had a flood, roof caved in John Smith's office, poor John Smith. Where we had some issues with but I don't think it was really the roof, it was the drain situation. Jerry Walker's on the case and we've got it solved, but it was turned in our insurance for a settlement. So we're working all that through. We've cleaned it all up. We've got to replace some ceiling tiles and such. As far as any HVAC, I don't have any major HVAC issues to report this month, thank goodness. So they're humming along so far. So that's all I got on the maintenance side. On the school, I passed out the budget sheet on theirs. So as you look over that, you got questions anytime through the week, because I know it's small print and there's a lot of it, because it's getting bigger and bigger as we get closer to the end. Just let me know. I'll try to my best to answer all those. This past week, we were supposed to have our construction meeting. The Merit project manager was out of town. She was on vacation. Lewis Group couldn't attend, so we just postponed that one, but the biggest thing is still going on right now is trying to complete the boulevard section, which is in the middle, going up towards the gymnasium. And the gymnasium itself, they're setting steel on that. They should be under roof by the end of this month, hopefully in the gym. They're putting the metal up and everything. A slab be poured in the gym in March. That's the two biggest pieces to get under the roof. The rest of it is in the dry. They're working on all the electrical, plumbing, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is ongoing. They're getting all that done. They got all the sheetrock and stuff up in the main office area and finishing all those. We've got the propane tank set now, so we can start turning the HVAC on in those sections to get them atomic controlled. So all that's progressing nicely. If you've not been around and looked at it lately and noticed, the football turf is down and the irrigation is in. So that'll all start turning green here when we turn the water back on here in March. Baseball, softball, he's kind of waiting on weather to settle down before he comes back in and starts moving dirt around again. All the things have been ordered to get in here, so we're still on time with all that as far as I know. As far as the property, I've got the sales contracts ready to go. Mr. Latham couldn't come by today to pick his up. He's supposed to be out tomorrow. I've worked over Pine Street a couple times. I've got that one. I just dropped off the latest copy that they asked me to have a few changes done on the sales contract to Mr. Rutherford, so he'll get with those folks and get that one signed. And we've reached I sent that in the notes, we've reached an agreement on the price on that, so we won't have to go the other route, so all that seems to be progressing nicely. And hopefully I'll have those signed by next week, and our plan is try to close within 30 days of signatures. So hopefully we'll get those closed pretty soon, because we need that, especially Beeler, because we need that one so we can start widening Baylor, because we need to tie that in with the baseball on some of the dirt movement. And the furniture piece, the bids came in about 1.2 million. We budgeted 900,000 for that. We're going to sit down tomorrow and go through those. She's went through and marked all that up and look at ways we could try to save some money, get closer to the 900,000. I was pleasantly surprised that they didn't come in at $2 million, the way things are right now with cost. So I thought the bids came in really well, where they're at. What the main thing she was looking at is the quality that we spec'd in the design to stay as close to that as possible. So that's what we're going to look at tomorrow and see what things we may or may not change out. So somewhere in that $1 million range is what we're shooting for on the furniture. And that's putting furniture and all new furniture in there. So and I think that's all I got on the middle school. You got any questions about anything on the middle school?
Make sure we get good furniture, get good quality.
That's the goal.
I have a question also. What are we doing with the middle school furniture, and can we use some of that to perhaps?
It's staying put in, yes.
It's what?
It's staying in the middle school as it is, because
Okay.
I'm not turning it out. I won't leave it there in case we need it for future use. But there's a lot of good furniture still in the middle school, because I know while I was principal, I think I probably bought at least one set every year that I was there. So there's a lot of good things still in the middle school.
In the rooms that we hopefully will never use again, the basement, can we take that furniture out?
We can move it anywhere we need to. I mean, most of it is that age, so it wouldn't be appropriate for first grade classroom, but the high school could use it if they needed anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's some things though that, it's kind of beyond help, but there's a lot of good stuff over there.
Now, I'll just make a statement that I would hope that, and I would oppose us ever putting children back in the basement
No,
whatsoever.
that's, we're not gonna do that.
Out of the question for me, but, yeah, so I mean, if we can use any of that. And then also just my thought is if there's ways to perhaps try to stay close to budget. I know we need quality, but trying to stay close to budget, maybe thinking outside of the box would be my request. And I don't know if the board has other thoughts, but that would be my thought.
That's what we're working on tomorrow. We'll go through the list and see what things, we can do.
Awesome.
Try to get it close to the 100,000. Yes, sir.
Are we still on timeline to be completed at the,
That's what you're telling me. July 6th is still the day.
thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay, move on to number 13, discuss TSBA recommended board policy revisions. Mr. Mints.
These are brought to you this month for first reading. They are exactly like they were last month. They're just TSBA's recommendations as they offered them. So do any of you have any questions over them? Okay, thank you.
Okay, item number 14, discuss board retreat.
I don't know. Was the agenda shared out from Tammy? Did you share that out with folks?
I can see.
Well, I didn't have it. I thought you were sharing it.
I haven't seen it.
Typically, the way these go, of course, Dr. Carter knows this, he would come in and he'd do his workshop piece, and he has various things to go over. I know Ms. Buck, the one that's been with us for a little while, on how it was done with the other gentleman that did ours. Then we'd always have time towards the end. Hers is packed for the whole day, is the way it's laid out in the agenda, but I'm sure there will be some time for other things that we can need to discuss or go over. Because primarily by this time, I hope to have the budget resolved before we get to the 30th, and it's just tune-up things we might want to look at. So I'll get a copy of this out and send it to you tomorrow. I thought you guys had it already. I'm sorry.
You said that for?
The 30th, it's on a Monday.
Oh.
March.
Will we still have time to go over the strategic plan
I hope so.
stuff?
Do you have a place yet in mind?
No, not yet. We'll have something.
Okay, item number 15, discuss Pine Street property.
Like I've included in the notes, we've reached an agreement on the price on that. So tonight it's just to approve that and move forward. That's all. Unless you guys have any other questions on anything.
Anybody got questions? And we're flying, Jimmy.
We're ahead of halftime, so.
Okay. Discuss policy 3.600, insurance management.
The only thing, is it not highlighted? Oh, it is highlighted. The only thing that I was looking at is we're already going, if you look at the yellow piece in the very back of the policy, we're already following this, but Mr. Graham and Ms. Oaks thought we needed to just clarify. I think this was in the original old policy that we do it up through Medicaid age, which is 65. That's what we wanted to make sure we put that in here to just assure it up. And that you have to be on our insurance before you can do this. You can't wait till the end and retire to get on our insurance. You always have to be, already have to be on. That's the only thing we were doing to this.
So how do you sign up for this?
Have you signed up for it? Well, if you're already on the health insurance, when you go to retire, you just say that you want to continue. If you meet.
I did.
Huh?
I retired and then this policy went into effect.
It was from that day forward.
That's why I said, how do you sign up for it?
You're out of luck. You could come back and work for a while, maybe, I don't know.
A day. Give me a day. And then I'll retire.
I didn't get any.
I've done it like 5 times, so.
So on that note, would it be appropriate to grandfather anyone or?
Most of them are getting close to 65 already if you went back and did. I had a couple people call and ask me that question, and they were like 64 at the time, so it wouldn't have been a benefit, that much of a benefit.
I turned 64 on March 1st.
And we'll try to keep postponing this to your 65.
I'm joking, I wouldn't do it for myself, but I know that I'm not the only person that was probably hanging out there in between those times. But do not do anything for me. I'm not saying that for me, I'm saying there's other people.
That's totally up to the board. I mean, at the time it was introduced, it was just from there going forward.
Okay, item number 17, other, is there anything else?
I do have two questions. I know last month, the board passed the teacher bonus plan. And on the plan, I had it going into effect in November next year. I didn't know if the board was going to entertain anything about
This year?
doing something for this year. That was the question. I just put that on the mind. Don't do it now. Put some time between now and the end of the school year if you wanted to do that, but just put that out there.
My assumption is we didn't budget for it.
No, we did not.
Correct.
It's not in there. Then, and the way it was passed too, it is budget dependent. So when we get into that part of it, that's one of the things we would need to look at. But that wasn't clear last month, that's why I wanted to ask the question. And the other thing is, I give you guys a lot of stuff in the notes, some of it stays, some of it comes and goes. If you've got questions on that, just let me know, I'll try to answer those. I'll try to keep you up to date on all that stuff, so we won't have to do so much here. That's all I got, I'll be quiet now.
Mr. Clay, I do have another question, or a question on the insurance management fees. The highlighted part, is that being communicated with
Yes,
the employees clearly, so
Yes.
we are well aware of, but that way we don't have somebody come up and, well, I didn't know, or I wish
when
I
they,
was
when they sit
told," or-
down with Mr. Graham and
Some
Ms.
gap.
Oates, they go over this just like that. It's already communicated to them. But we just want to make sure it's in the policy that everybody knows it before they get to that age, for sure.
So is it being communicated now with the
Yes.
employees here? Okay. And also my second question, do you have a preference for would you rather see we start the bonus next year, or do you have a preference on that?
Well, you know me, I'm pretty tight.
That's right.
And then on the
Well,
insurance.
like Dr. Carr said, didn't budget.
Yeah,
for
we
this
didn't
year.
budget, right, absolutely. And then on the insurance piece, do you feel like this is, you don't want to see us do anything else with this? You approve and you appreciate
When
it?
I brought this up a couple of years ago, when I first came on board, all I asked for was 30 years. But then I think it was some of the other board members said, well, let's look at doing the scales, and let's also look at doing non-certified ones, which is fine. But it just kind of went from there. Right now, I think there's only like 10 people, I'll have to double check with Missy, that actually has taken advantage of this so far. Have been eligible for it. I just know it is a big help to a lot of the non-certified, so go ahead and retire.
Any more questions? We'll take a 5-minute break.
Four.
Mr. Hamilton,
Four.
Ms. Lot,
4.
Mr. Washington.
Forward. Okay, item, number 6, we don't have no surplus. Approve or disapprove contracts.
Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
This is roll call too.
Ms. Buck, is your motion to approve both Lewis Thomason and Waste Connections?
Yes.
Okay. And who was second on this?
Me.
Dr. Carter?
Is that a roll call because there's no money? It's just a contract renewal?
We don't have to roll call on contracts.
No.
Okay, got a motion and a second.
You got it.
You do have to roll call on a contract if it's a renewal?
No, I said he has a motion
Oh.
and a second.
Let's go ahead and do a roll call.
Okay. Ms. Buck,
4.
Dr. Carter,
Four.
Mr. Good.
Four.
Mr. Hamilton,
Four.
Ms. Lot,
4.
Mr. Washington.
Forward. Okay, item number 8, approve or disapprove on the first reading, TSBA recommended board policy revisions. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item number 9, approve or disapprove purchase of Pine Street property.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do a roll call?
Ms. Buck,
4.
Dr. Carter,
Abstain.
Mr. Good,
Four.
Mr. Hamilton,
Four.
Ms. Lot,
4.
Mr. Washington.
Forward. Okay, item number 10, the next board meeting, we are gonna have to move it because of spring break.
Mhm.
So it'll
So,
be March 19th.
okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Hold on.
Before you adjourn, sorry, we need to set some dates. I can send them to you to have a budget workshop between now and the next meeting, hopefully. I'll get to some numbers the end of the month. I'll have something together. So if you want to do something on the 17th, right before the board meeting, because that's right after spring break, or if you want to, it might be a little tight to do it the week before spring break. If you want.
Yeah.
Because we need to talk about the budget, we need to talk about the K-12 contract, and we need to talk about enrollment things. I know that you guys want to do that too. We can do that all, because it all ties together.
I'm good with that if everybody else is.
Yeah, just send us whatever.
That gives us adequate time to discuss these items, because I know that's going to be quite a bit that needed.
Well, we can have more than one.
Okay.
I like to have one before the next
Yeah.
board meeting. We can do another one the next week if we have to, because we need to have things kind of wrapped up in April for Missy to
Yeah.
get her stuff in.
Okay.
So I'll double check that and I'll send those dates out to y'all. So we probably need to do it on the 16th to the 17th because we've got into the finance committee meeting tonight. I know it'll be the next, that Tuesday too, I'm pretty sure. So, okay. But I'll send the dates out. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Well, I vote that Dr. Carter have something after every board meeting.